So the solution I came up with to the problem, well, not really problem, the dilemma I was having in my last video, loading the oak logs onto the Yappa 365. What I did the following day, and what many of you suggested in the comments, I did end up using the pallet forks on the tractor to lift the logs up onto the in-feed conveyor, and then also use the forks to support the log as it was fed in. So that ended up working out very nicely. The other thing that I did, the Yappa is no longer there. I decided to pull it out and kind of just clean up this whole area, and I may also be taking it somewhere. We'll come back to that in a little bit. But yeah, what ended up working out with the tractor and the forks, and I don't know why I didn't think of it at the time. Well, actually I do know, because at the time I wasn't thinking I wanted to move everything around. I had these logs on the ground as kind of like what I called my redneck live deck. I had those over there, and you know, you have everything set up, you have everything in place. The last thing that's kind of on your mind is taking it all apart, dismantling it, just to run a few logs. And so at the time I wasn't thinking about moving those logs, using the tractor, but then I just decided to, because I did have a call come in about taking this gal on a little adventure. And for those of you that may not have seen this before, the Yappa 365 Plus Pro road model, the processor you saw in the last video, that whole setup, it all folds down and looks just like that. And yes, you can tow it on down the road. Very compact, it tows very nice. But that is what the Yappa 365 Plus Road model, or Plus Pro Road model, looks like. Everything folds up. The platform here that you stand on, that folds up, gets hooked in right there. The conveyor, 14-foot conveyor, folds in half. That comes up. There is a little bumper with tail lights that when you're running this, that swings around. So that comes over. The log lift and the in-feed, that all folds up. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty, I had some questions about how mobile this was. And there you can see it. It's just, you know, it's just a matter of folding up the conveyor, folding up the log lift, and getting it all buttoned up. And like I said, now it is ready to go on a little adventure. And just where is this little adventure that I'm going on with the Yappa? Well, you will find out shortly. You can leave your guess down in the comments below. So what is left behind after pulling out the Yappa here from where I had it sitting, you can see there's actually a fairly decent sized pile of sawdust that does accumulate underneath the machine. Got a pile of slash here that comes out of the grates right before the conveyor. The other thing that was left behind to clean up is that mountain of oak. There is a lot of oak right here. I actually have right now, currently in the woodyard, probably the most oak I've ever had. And I know the saying, there's never enough. But that pile right there, that's a pretty good sized pile. And I still have all of these logs still left over from the 3 loads that Rick brought in. Now, some of these I'm not going to be able to run. Some of them are nice though, like that one and that one. So yeah, there's a lot of oak sitting here. There's more oak sitting right there. And check this out. The little wood shanty over here is also completely loaded all oak. That is, just a beautiful sight. Two rows filled up, bottom to top. We're gonna get going. I'm gonna build the next section and tie this all together, hopefully sometime here soon. So a little bit of an oak overflow here in the woodyard, but it's mostly because of all of the trees that I had removed from the woodyard last year. They were all oak. There were some big ones, so I'm still working through those. And then just so happened that, Rick had a couple jobs that were all standing dead oak removal. The oak overflow is going to continue because up on my hillside here, there's about 4 that need to come down. And then behind the carport, there's another 5 standing dead oak trees that I will be taking down hopefully here soon. So there's going to be a lot of oak around the woodyard all through 2024, splitting a lot of it up. Oak is what I obviously prefer to burn in the outdoor wood burner. Oak, however, is not what I prefer to put in bundles or the roadside stand during the summer months. I just feel like oak doesn't really provide a great flame. Like it's not a great recreational firewood. It's more for heat. Like it'll burn long, it'll burn hot, but it's not going to give you those dancing flames like maple. So thanks again for the feedback and the suggestions on using the pallet forks with the tractor to load the logs up on the Yappa. I think when I come back from this little adventure, I'm not sure if I'm going to set up in the exact same spot. And I'm also not sure if when I do set up back here in the woodyard, I'm not sure if I am going to utilize the redneck log deck anymore. Because I think with some of those logs being longer, I think they're all pretty much all 12 footers. And there are some that are a little bit bigger. So I think going forward, I'm going to probably continue to just use the forks on the tractor to load the in-feed conveyor of the Yappa. The downside is that it does then add more time to the process. So it takes a lot longer to go, with the tractor, drive over to the pile, pick up the log, bring it over, put it on here, run it through, take the tractor, go get another log. So once I get back to the woodyard, I'll see where I'm going to set the Yappa up. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere close to where I had it because I kind of want to continue running into that same pile of oak that I have now sitting over there. And then as far as loading it, I think I am going to skip out on putting the logs back down on the ground. The smaller logs, I can still just roll on the ground onto the log lift. And then for those bigger ones, I'll probably end up using, again, the forks on the tractor, one at a time. And I'll just, it'll just take a little bit longer, but it will end up being, I think, easier. So a little bit of a trade-off. We shall see. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.